Hey everyone, so today we have some notes. The notes is on area of circles. This is section A3 in the book. I know we don't have a book, we don't actually need one, but let's move on. So here's a couple of properties of a circle, or definitions of a circle, or parts of a circle, I guess it's better. We have here the center of a circle, and whenever you connect a line from the center of a circle to a point on the circle, that's a radius. So it goes from the center to the edge of the circle. That's called a radius. If you have a line that goes from one point on the circle through the center and it goes all the way to the other side, then that's called the diameter. Okay, and the radius is half the diameter. Or you can say the diameter is twice the radius, whichever way you want to think of it. But that's radius and diameter. You have to be able to identify the two and know how to get one from the other. So if we look at the area formula, the area formula is pi r squared. R stands for the radius, and then pi is actually a number. And sometimes they want us to leave pi in the answer, and sometimes they want an approximate answer. Whenever we're approximating, we always use 3.14 in place of pi. Okay. And then something else for circles, circumference. Circumference is the distance around a circle. To be honest, I don't know why they just don't call it perimeter. We already talked about the perimeter, how the perimeter is the distance around a figure. Well, that's the same thing with circumference. I guess maybe because it's round, they want to call it something different. So that's what the circumference is. It's the distance around a circle. And then here's the circumference formula. The circumference formula is 2 times pi times r. Okay. Pause that if you need more time to copy it. I am going to lower it to do our two examples. So here's our two examples. They want us to find the area and the circumference, and then for both of these, I'm going to find the answer with pi and the approximation of the answer. Okay, so I'll give you a second to copy that. Pause it if you need to. Actually, I'm going to move on. So then first let's find the area. Now I worked through all this and then I messed something up. So that's why there's a bunch of white out here. So the area is pi r squared. So it's helpful if you look here, we can find the radius and the diameter first for both of these, and then go back and do the area and the circumference. So let's take a look at the diagram. Because the line goes from one side of the circle all the way through to the other side, I know that's the diameter. The diameter is 16 feet. And half of the diameter is the radius, 8 feet. Okay, so with my area formula, I'm going to use the radius. So area equals pi, and the radius was 8 squared. Okay, so then if I just multiply the numbers, 8 times 8 is 64. So I know the area is 64 pi. So watch here, I put 64 pi, and that's feet squared. And then if I want to find the approximate answer, all I need to do is take 64 and multiply by 314. Now that we'll do in the calculator. 64 times 314, and that's 200.9. No, it's actually going to be 201. Okay, because the 6 is going to bump the 9 over, which is going to bump this over. Okay, so 200. I'm going to put 201.0. So this will be 201.0. Okay, and then I'm just going to put it next to the answer with pi. Remember, area is always squared. And then if we want to find the circumference is 2 pi r. Okay, again, I'm going to use, we know the radius is 8, so I'm going to use 8 there. And to find my answer with pi, all I do is deal with the numbers. So 2 times 8 is 16, and then I keep the pi. So that's my approximate, or that's my exact answer actually. 16 pi, and then that's feet. And then the approximation of this, again, just take and substitute 314 for pi. Type it in the calculator, 16 times 314, and then that's 50.2. Okay, 50.2. And sometimes it's better to have the approximate answer, because I know like approximately how many feet 50 feet is, but this 16 pi feet, intuitively I don't know what 16 pi is. I have to multiply it out and be like, oh, it's like 50 feet. Okay, so that's the first example. So I'm going to do that all over again with my number 2, but this last step here, I'm going to skip this last step. I'm just going to type it into the calculator and not write it down. Let me put my answer in there. It was 50.2 feet. Okay, so let's go to number 2. So if you look at number 2, the diagram, this is the radius. The radius is 12 inches, and then the diameter, imagine if you extended it all the way across, the diameter is double that. So 12 and 12 make 24 inches. Okay, the area is pi r squared. R is 12, so I'm going to put 12 squared here. And then 12 times 12 is 144 pi, so that's the area, 144 pi, and then that's inches squared. Now again, if I want to find, let me put my inches squared in here. If I want to find the approximate area, all I need to do is take the 144 and multiply it by 314. And then that's 452.2. Again, that was inches squared. Okay. Actually, if it just asks for the approximate, you could type it in like from the very beginning. You could go 314 times 12 squared. Right, that's this one. But because we're finding both answers, I'm kind of multiplying these out in steps. Okay, so then the circumference, I don't think I have enough space here, so I'm going to do it down towards the bottom. So my circumference is 2 pi r, 2 times pi times the radius, which is 12, right? And then again, when we find our answer with pi, just multiply the 2 and the 12. Well, 2 times 12 is 24, and then this is inches. So the circumference is 24 pi inches. So I'm going to put 24 pi inches. And then the exact answer, I'm not going to rewrite it down here. I'm just going to type it in the calculator. So it would look like this: 24 times 314, and then that's 75.4. Again, sometimes it's better. Like I know what 75.4 inches is, but 24 pi inches, that is like I don't know what that is. And anyway, that is our 2 examples. Hopefully that makes sense. Pause this if you need to pause it. I am going to stop the video and let's do the classwork.